We made it to the end of our 17th week and our last day in Nebraska, and today I will be spotlighting the homicide of Patricia Webb. In 1974, Patricia, 24, was a new employee at an adult book and cinema store in Lincoln when she was abducted from the store during her overnight shift. Her remains would be found 2 days later in a farmer's field. Her case remains unsolved, but investigators do have a unique lead, a jacket that might solve her case, and investigators are asking for the public's help. Patricia was adopted at 4 years old by her uncle when her mother passed away. She was Robert and Joan Webb's only daughter. She grew up in South Central Nebraska, was a champion roller skater, and was described as popular, beautiful, considerate, loving, responsible, and trustworthy. Family and friends said that Patricia had a relentless spirit and had trouble deciding what she wanted to do with her life. She married very young out of high school, but divorced a little over a year later. She would try the University of Nebraska twice before deciding that college just wasn't for her. On April 18, 1974, Patricia would vanish from her overnight shift at the adult store. Investigators quickly discovered not only was Patricia missing from the store, but 51 adult magazines of the same variety, a calculator, and $30 were also gone, and the store was left open and unlocked. 2 days later, a farmer out in their field at a vacant ranch in Holland would find Patricia's body under a haystack. Patricia was nude except for a blue quilted jacket, and it was determined that she died of multiple gunshot wounds to the head and the chest. Investigators state that 2 different caliber weapons were used at the time, which leads them to believe that there were 2 perpetrators involved in her death. An autopsy would reveal that Patricia was not sexually assaulted, and her bullet wounds pointed to her death being an execution-style homicide. The jacket Patricia was found to be wearing would be investigators' biggest lead even today. It's a unique 1 out of 143 extra-large size jackets sold by Kansas feed manufacturer solely for promotions. Investigators are still hoping someone will recognize and remember someone who owned this jacket in 1974 who lived in or visited Lincoln. Due to the coverage of Patricia's case after her body was found, the public would learn that Patricia was a narcotics informant who was set to testify the day she disappeared. 16 years later, investigators would say that Patricia wasn't working for the agency at the time of her death, and no motive has ever been established, and they don't believe that she was killed just because of a drug case. Their words. They did say that Patricia's undercover work and another informant played a key role in the late 1973 and early 1974 to help set up to 70 undercover drug buys that led to arrests and convictions in more than 24 cases. Investigators said that Patricia was no longer working for the operation in January of 1974 because she had some unpaid debt to finance companies around $4,000, and they told her that she couldn't work for them until she paid those bills off. There was a witness who saw a man in the store close to the time that Patricia disappeared, and a composite sketch was done and circulated. They also asked the public if anyone noticed anybody wearing this unique style jacket